All right, we got some traps right here. Got some bait in here. We don't have anything too crazy. Got Dano with us today. Have not made a video with him yet. Emma's behind the camera. We're gonna go set some traps. It's gonna be sweet.
I lost my wallet.
We're starting strong. Oh, it stinks! Oh my god, it smells.
I'm scared to go any further.
I need to dump my boots out. My boots are full.
I'm so scared.
Oh, it smells so bad.
What is that?
It's this deep. It's this deep. I literally just went up to his chest in that. To get back to the car.
Yeah, I agree.
What?
I'm so cold, I'm numb that it's warm.
Emma, I swear to God, you probably didn't see the whole thing.
No, I
When
did.
I looked at Dan, he was up to here, swimming in that stuff. We were just walking through the woods, and Dan literally just fell straight through here. In the water, he's got a waterproof shirt on, but you can see, turn around quick, so we can see it on your back. The water line is at least right here, but you can see it up here because he was swimming and didn't even, he said he doesn't even think he felt the bottom.
Oh my god.
That's deeper over there even. That's a good 3.5 to 4 foot. Like, you're not even seeing the bottom of that stick. Pick up that stick quick before you break the end off. That's up to there. So that's a good, at least waist deep. We're at round 2. Dan's got some granny panties on. This is my grandpa's clothing because he had to run back to their house. I just want to show everybody, for future references, look how many animal tracks are here. There's like probably 15 animal tracks leading right to here. You can see them stop right here. If you're ever in the woods, kids, and you see 15 animal tracks walking to somewhere and then turning around and going back the same way that they came, look over here quick. They actually did. On the other side, nothing. So just a word of advice, don't walk there. Just simple words of wisdom. And if you need a prime example, here you go. We've got 3 traps all at different stages. I want to show you guys how to trap in the snow. This one is obviously first. First thing you want to do is get your anchor, pound it into the dirt, or if you're using a stake, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Just pound that in the dirt. If you're using an anchor, after you get it really far in the dirt, about as far as you can pound it in, you'll want to set the trap by pulling up on it until you can't pull it anymore. That sets it so the animal can't get out. So then after that, you've got your trap. You want to rake it out so everything's really flush. And then what I'm going to do, what we already did with that one, is rake a hole so that the trap can sit perfectly in that hole. And we'll give you a video of us sifting some dirt in there to make sure the trap sets flush. If the trap doesn't set flush, the coyotes can sometimes feel, or whatever animal you're trying to trap, can feel the shift in the trap if they step on like maybe a jaw or this wing here. So if they don't step perfectly on that, they'll feel that and then they won't step there anymore. So you want to make sure that the ground's really level where you put your trap. And then after it's level, you want to sift some dirt over top of it like this one. So to make sure there's no rocks in there or anything. And that way when the jaws close on the animal's foot, there's no rocks in between the jaws that could leave a space for a potential for it to get out. So that's what we're doing right now. I can get you some videos of us sifting it, kind of show you what I mean by planting the trap in. I'm gonna set your trap and I can feel it, relieve a little pressure with your boot. And if you listen, it goes right in that groove. It's preset to exactly where I want it, weight-wise. And then you want to snug the trap. And what I mean by that is make sure that it doesn't shift. See how when I press on it, it doesn't shift?
Yeah.
That's what you want, so they can't feel it. Then wherever I dug out the hole, I normally take that dirt and just toss it in my sifter, just like this. I might have to go somewhere else to get some dirt because this one is pretty rooty, but you can see kind of how it's starting to work. Then this one's got a little bit of a longer chain, so I'm gonna have to cover that up a little bit. That's starting to look good. I'll just use my little shovel to kind of even it out a little bit. So if anything steps there, should get caught, no problem. Now that we've got our trap set, the last step I always do after I throw some snow over it is take a little piece of log or something. Dogs' all natural instinct is to pee on a log, and that's true for all dogs, even coyotes. So like, there's a trap right here, and we're gonna put the bait in the middle. If I put this here, hypothetically, they should come, lift their leg on that, and maybe get caught. So we'll see how that works. If it does, I don't know, but we're gonna get this baited up and then covered up, and then tomorrow I'm gonna come back out with some more scent and coyote pee, and then put a trail camera on that tree right there so we can see exactly what happens here. Just because we did not get the full story, you just kind of saw what went on of Dan and I laughing and him soaked. Why don't you care to explain what actually happened?
So, you see, these are not my pants, nor are they my boots. In fact, they're about 3 sizes too small, and we hiked at least a mile.
Mm-hmm.
So comfortable.
Yep.
But before I got into these comfortable boots and lovely pants, we were walking, and I stepped down, and I broke through the top layer of snow, which is normal. And then I heard a loud crack. What's that? And then I sunk about up to my knees. And I thought that was it. And then I sunk up to my waist. And I realized I was in the water. And then I sunk about up to my chest. And I thought I was going to drown. So I started swimming to get out. I put my hands down somewhere, tossed myself out of the water, and looked down. I was just covered in shit swamp water and mud. I started pouring out my boots. And
All right, guys, we're good to go, and we've got our trapping stuff. We're gonna put a couple more traps out in the spot that is our new spot that I started putting traps out yesterday. We have the gun attachment on here with the 22, so we're gonna check the traps that we already put out, throw a few more out. Might show you guys how to do a dirt hole set either today or tomorrow, so it's gonna be within the next 30 seconds of the video. But basically the trap that we already showed you guys how to do, we put traps in a circle and then put some bait from other animals that we've used in the middle. Just make sure that's covered, the bait's covered. That's the only thing I forgot to mention, so the hawks and birds can't see it from above. I think that actually you have to do that to be fully legal. Anyways, we're gonna get back out there. We're gonna set a couple more traps. We're gonna check the traps we already have, and then we're gonna have some fun and shoot some guns. So let's go. All right, we're to our spot. Wind's blowing pretty hard. Four-wheeler ride was kind of a pain in the butt. You can hear the wind. But we're gonna start walking to our spot. Hopefully we can throw some more traps in this spot. Got a big coyote in one of them.
Oh, nice. What color?
I haven't looked over yet all the way.
How do you know it's in there?
I just see him bouncing up and down there.
I hope it's that big black one. Mom saw a black one
Did she?
when we were out there running through the field, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I'll take a look and see what it is. But yeah.
We saw the tracks all over. There's tracks everywhere out there. So
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
one of them's really big.
We're gonna go see what
It doesn't look like
kind of coyote it is, like if it's big or if it's little or if it's blonde. We'll see.
It's been 4 days since we set the traps. This is the 4th day checking. I just called my dad and let him know that there was a coyote down here. Emma's never seen a coyote up close and personal before.
I have not, so I'm a little bit sheepish right now. Yeah, I've never seen a coyote up close before. Look at the fur on his back.
Yeah, he's not happy. But these guys right here probably kill 5 to 6 fawns every year. They probably kill 5 to 6 baby turkeys every year. They definitely kill, when they get packed up, they kill a lot of just bigger animals if they can get around them. Lots of rabbits, lots of squirrels, pretty much anything they can get their hands on. They're really big scavengers. Because what I had in this pile right here was just a couple remains of a raccoon that I didn't need anymore. So we're trying to get the control, coyote control kind of down right here, because as you can see, there's a bunch of them. And it's just a lot of fun trapping, and super awesome that we could get this guy. We'll get some pictures of him up close, and then we will get him taken care of and get out of here, because Emma even knows this turkey season we couldn't hear any turkeys, we couldn't see any turkeys. There was barely any fawns this year. It's getting really bad in this area with the coyotes. So they do this after you stand here and look at them, because they're getting tired of pulling. Got it figured out. I can go ahead and here, just stick it down in there real quick so they can see. We've got the coyote taken care of. You can see it down in there. We're gonna actually run it right into the taxidermist, get a full trapper stand on it, because that's what I do with all my coyotes. And then let's get right back out there, show you guys how to do some raccoon sets, some more fox traps, some more coyote traps, and let's see what else we can do this year. Here we are a couple weeks later after we set the circle set, and I just kind of want to show you guys how to maintain your traps in the snow. First of all, you can see they obviously got here and they came around here, but obviously the traps are frozen in the ground, so they obviously wouldn't be able to get caught when the traps are frozen, because they wouldn't be able to set them off. So in the winter, regardless if you're trapping in snowy weather or cold weather, your rake is your best friend. So you want to remember about where your traps are. I know I've got one right here, and then just carefully rake around it. I'm not going to show everything on camera. I just want to explain to you guys kind of what to do. So you just kind of rake around it. And then once you get it all raked, which mine is not, I just want to show you, you'll have it all raked up around the trap, and then you can either take a small shovel or a brush or something and brush the rest away, and then take just normal table salt that you can get from the store. This works the best for frozen traps, and if you want a cheap alternative to the store-bought like anti-freeze powder that they sell at the stores, you can just sprinkle the table salt on there like this, and then eventually that will melt the snow and ice, and you'll have some thawed traps that'll be good to go for quite a while. But take a look at these traps real quick. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's very cool. You can kind of see it.
But anyway, let's go do some more stuff. All right, guys, so I want to explain quickly how to do a normal dirt hole set. This, I did not have all the materials here in front of me. If you'll notice, I actually have some materials for a raccoon set, and I'll run through those here in a minute. But first, I want to show you how to do this, and then I'm gonna throw in a raccoon set for you guys to check out. So this is more of the professional trap that a lot of like high-end trappers that trap for fur and money and stuff, this is the kind of sets that they do. So I would say these ones here, because you're really messing with the coyote's nose and eyes, the keen sense that they have, this is probably one of those traps that you do have to be the most careful with as far as your scents, wearing rubber boots, wearing rubber gloves, waxing, dyeing your traps, all that good stuff, making sure there's no scent around the area. But like I said before, your rake is your #1 friend in the woods when it's snowy outside, because you can get all this stuff away. But #1, what you want to do is rake yourself a little area in front of a backing. This is what you call a backing. A backing could be anything. It could be the side of a road that kind of goes up on a bank like right here. It could be a rock, it could be a stump. But this is what I like to use for these, because they really like to walk by these, because it's right next to a road. What I do is I don't go right dead center of the log, because they won't walk there. Sometimes they'll walk towards the end of it and pee on it. They're just like a household dog, and anything basically that catches their eye, they will walk to and try to pee on, just like your dog will if you take it out on a walk. So we're just gonna make it look naturally unnatural. You have to find the balance between the two.
The happy medium.
Yeah, the happy medium. Ice is a little
Icy.
but so you want to make a little hole like this, for a dirt hole set.
Almost.
And the dirt hole sets can be used for raccoons, coyotes, fox, literally anything at all that you want. And it's just gonna basically make the picture that something's living in here. Break everything out, make it look pretty. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna need for this set the materials that you would need for the circle set that I showed you. So you're gonna want your sifter, you're gonna want a trap with an anchor on it, or stakes if you stake in your traps instead of anchoring. You're gonna need either peat moss, buckwheat hulls, or just fine ground dirt with salt on the top to avoid that from freezing, but peat moss and buckwheat hulls obviously don't freeze very well. And then once you have your trap in there like you normally would, you would dig your hole just like the last set your trap in here, cover it a little bit with the ground soil with your sifter, just like I showed you on the previous set. And then the difference is, you'll take a stake or whatever you have. Some people have an actual auger for this, and find a good spot in the back here and just pound the stake in, I don't know, a good at least 6-8 inches. Then just move it around. Make sure you have a really good hole right there. You can see that little hole in there. Then what you'll do is you'll need coyote lure, fox lure, or raccoon lure, whichever one you really want to trap. And it normally comes in a little glass container, and you take like a little stick like this, just break off a piece of stick. I'd like to just take a little piece of stick, dip it in the bait, get a good chunk of it on there, and then put it right down in the hole. Then take another stick and use that to push this bait that's already in the hole down into the hole all the way to the bottom. And then what a lot of people do, this is not an absolute necessity, but a lot of people use an insulation to keep that bait from freezing in there so the smell stays strong. So you can use wool. Wool works the best. That's normally what people use. So then after you push this stuff all the way down in there, you take a piece of wool, stuff it like an inch or two down to keep the cold air from getting in there, keep it from being frozen. And then a normally good rule of thumb for me is I like to come back from that hole about 6 inches and then come to the right about 1 inch, 2 inches, because an animal's natural instinct when it comes in here is going to be making these. You can see they're going to step in here with his left front foot or right front foot. If he steps in with the right front foot, which most of the time they do, they'll step right on that pan and boom, there you go. You get your animal. So that's how you want to do a dirt hole set. I don't have all the stuff here to actually show you, but you can imagine and see that's how you do the dirt hole. You'd set your trap right here just like I showed you before. And now I want to show you the materials and everything that you'll need to do a raccoon trap. So for a raccoon trap, this is really all you need in general. It's probably the simplest trap. I would recommend this type of trapping for beginners because it is just that easy. Raccoons are probably the easiest thing in the world to catch, and I'm gonna do it as simplistic as I possibly can for you guys. So this is actually a store-bought raccoon trap, and I'm showing you right now. I'm touching it with my hands. You don't have to be really careful with these ones. I have not done anything at all with this raccoon trap. And I have 2 very generic stakes right here. And I'm only gonna use one type of bait, just marshmallows. And for these traps, really all you do, I will say, I know a lot of people like anchors. I know a lot of people like stakes, and there's a big argument about that in the trapping world. And I'd rather use anchors, but I will say when you do use stakes, if you want them to hold, drill one stake in this way, and then when you put your other stake in, drill it in this way. So they should cross up here. That way the animal cannot pull it out if they go one way or the other. So that's all I'll say about this trap, and the other stuff is just easy. So let's get right into it. We're gonna take the trap and just push it in momentarily. And you can put this against the backing, you can do whatever you want. Just make sure you rake it when you're trapping in this cold environment like this with snow. And just take your stakes. It's not a really big deal on really anything about this trap. Just get it staked in. Only thing that is a big deal is you don't want to hit rocks. So I'll just show you guys quickly how to do this after you get both the stakes in the ground. I'm just going to pound them both in a little bit. Since that stake went in that way, I'm going to pound in this one this way. So as you can imagine, both of these stakes being in the ground. All you have to do is take these traps. You can buy them for about $12 a piece at the store, and squeeze them. Flip this thing down in front of that, and then there's a little tiny pin here that all you have to do is move it down in front of here. And at that point, the trap is totally set. If you want to come down here quick, Emma, and look, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you can see like a little trigger in there. That's what they're going to be grabbing and pulling up on, which will set this off. Push it back down in there nice and snug so that it doesn't move. Just like that. And then here's the secret weapon right here. There's a lot of different things you can do. People use sardines, people use sardine oil, people use a bunch of kind of stinkier stuff. I prefer to keep my hands clean and to have a little fun with trapping sometimes. So with raccoons, that's where you can have some fun. You can use marshmallows, you can use cat food, you can use syrup, anything that doesn't smell awful and kind of make your hands smell. But so all you got to do, just crack these open, dump a few around it. So you can mix this stuff with cat food. I've always done that, but I couldn't find cat food on the way out here. So I just grabbed a bag of marshmallows because I know it'll work. Like I was saying before, raccoons are not very touchy. You can pretty much do whatever you want and still catch them. You just have to find them. That's the most important thing of trapping, is finding, like, you need your target animal in the area. You can't catch coyotes where there's no coyotes. You can't catch raccoons where there's no raccoons. Then, I can't quite get that stake in the rest of the way. So we're just gonna kind of push it over. And because this is not the dirt hole set anymore, you don't need any of this stuff. You just need that trap right there. So there's that, and that's about what they look like when they're done. Just a little cylinder on the top of the snow, and they just come over. They can smell that sweet stuff, reach in there, grab their marshmallows, get trapped. So now you guys know how to do a circle set, which is my personal favorite for coyotes, because you don't have to be as careful with your scent because they're focused on what you have, the bait in the middle of the pile. You can use your dirt hole sets for fox, coyotes, pretty much anything for a dirt hole set, same with the circle sets. You can set these traps. These are really fun for beginners, like I was saying earlier, for raccoons or possums. And you can use, another thing I just wanted to really quickly say in a couple seconds, hay sets are the best beginner trap for fox or coyotes. All you need is a little bit of hay, and it covers up most of your scent, so you don't have to worry a crazy amount about it, like wearing different gloves every time you use bait, wearing different shoes every time you go out. All you do is you find a spot, corner of a field, by a den, in the woods, doesn't matter where you put it. Put a little tiny bale of hay down, and then on the corner of that, just put a trap. A fox or coyote, anything's gonna see that. It's unnatural. They're gonna go over to it and investigate. They're gonna pee on it, do whatever. All you do is you put your trap down on the corner and put some hay over at the top of it, and you can catch them just like that. They also make, another thing that I will say as a tip, I forget if I said it on the last circle set when I was showing you guys how to do that. You can take a little log, like something like this right here. And set it.
That's not a little log.
Little, you kind of get the memo. If this was a dirt hole set, if you stick this here, there'll be more ant to funnel in right here and try to look at your circles.
Because they want to pee on it.
Yeah, your dirt hole set, and they'll try to pee on it on their way out regardless to mark their territory like a dog would. So that's a couple cool tricks of how to set some different types of traps. I hope you guys did learn something about that. And now let's see what kind of stuff we can catch in these traps. I will check them every single day until we hopefully get something in some of the traps. So I'll be back at you then, hopefully, and good luck trapping, everyone.